Hi everybody, welcome. Where to stand. Thanks for having me today. It's so awesome that we also get lunch with our Lunchbox Session. Bit of a bonus. So yeah, I really appreciate you taking your time to spend with me today, and I appreciate the opportunity from the orchard. So thanks. Today we're going to talk about how to create a powerful marketing strategy that cuts through the clutter, that attracts more customers, not just more customers, but the right type of customers, the customers and clients that you really want to work with, and positions your business to thrive. So this is me, Libby Evans, and this is my website, thrivemarketing.nz. Please feel free to connect with me on your preferred social media platform. I love to connect with other small business owners and support each other, even if we don't get a chance to chat today. So a little bit about me and my story. So I've always loved marketing, and I was really lucky. I knew that from a very young age. So I knew it was going to be my career. So I went and got my degree, and I've been in marketing ever since. But I've always felt really frustrated with the lack of ethics in my industry. So in 2014, I started Thrive Marketing because I wanted to make a stand for authentic marketing. And I could see that things were changing, and we needed to evolve with the change. Trust was becoming harder to earn. People were starting to demand more responsible and transparent businesses. And there's just this constant battle in the marketplace with so many businesses vying for our attention. We've just been so over-advertised too. And with a more conscious consumer, the usual persuasive marketing techniques no longer work like they did. And what really matters more is that we create purposeful businesses that create meaningful products and services and marketing and communications that really resonate with our people. So alongside raising my two beautiful children in magical Mangawhai, I started writing and creating a marketing program that really focused on the most effective strategies for small business owners to authentically market to their people and cut through that clutter. And a couple of years ago, I launched it in small group workshop settings and with one-to-one with coaching clients. And I'm super excited and pumped this week because I have my first group of small business owners, 7 of them, that are going through the online version of the program in a closed setting. So excited. And alongside my husband, who's a programmer, I also am a co-founder of a tech startup. And we were involved in the PIC in 2017 and also last year pitching to investors. So yeah, but I'm most excited about what I'm here to talk to you about today. And you'll probably gather from this presentation that this is my passion. This is what I live for, which is marketing strategy. And mostly because things are changing. Marketing and advertising no longer work like they used to. We can no longer rely on shouting at our people through advertising in the hopes that we get heard. So how do we then cut through the clutter? How do we create a way that we can differentiate ourselves so that our story travels? How can we earn the trust of our people so that we can create deeper connections and long-term customer loyalty? Your marketing strategy, it's your big picture game plan, and ideally this happens before you start doing any marketing tactics or creating any marketing collateral or working out what channels that you want to use to advertise to your people. And marketing strategy is becoming more important than it ever has before. And the thing is that most small businesses get so excited or they get so fixated on getting their ducks in a row when they start their business. They jump straight into creating the business cards and getting any marketing collateral sorted, flyers and brochures, getting a website up, and getting any social media profiles done, that they jump straight into the doing without really thinking about what they really stand for as a business, why they're doing it in the first place, and what makes them really different from the rest, and the true value that they provide, not just the immediate product or service, but the real value that they provide, and how they're going to communicate these things to their people. They jump straight into the doing without really thinking about what attracts their people to them in the first place, which, excuse the cliche, is a little bit like building a house without strong foundations. So without a clear strategy, what actually happens is a lot of businesses then have to rely on more manipulative marketing tactics, which are promotions or sales strategies or competitive pricing. But with a really good marketing strategy, you're far more likely to succeed, and you're far more likely to really be able to cut through the clutter and resonate with your market. And not only that, you'll be so much less reliant on the usual promotional and sales tactics or advertising altogether. Wrong button. How do I do that? Sorry guys, one moment please. See, marketing is 100% perception. And what really matters is what people say about you or your business or your product or your brand when you're not in the room. But you can influence this, but what you stand for as a business, by the promises that you make, by the personality that you convey, by the reputation that you build, and by every interaction that you have with your people. See, not long ago, it used to be who had the biggest advertising budget would win, or what company had the most sales force would win. But this is no longer the case. It's more like who has the best story now wins, which is really, really exciting for small businesses. Those that have a really good story, are now those that can connect and influence. It's through your story that you can influence what others say about you and how you're being perceived. And when I say story, some of you might think it's something that starts with once upon a time or the history of your business, but this is not what I'm referring to here. Whilst these can be elements of your story, it's not what I'm referring to. Your story is how you can evoke a feeling that creates a deeper connection with you and your brand. And we do this by focusing on some key elements. And today I'm going to be talking to you about the 5 most fundamental elements that create a marketing strategy that then you can shape your story that really engages your people. And this is why you are driven to do this, who you really want to serve, the promises that you make these people, and how you are different from the rest. And this is all underpinned by the trust that you build. So firstly, understanding who you are and what you stand for. Without knowing why you're doing this, your customers most certainly won't. Having a clear purpose is more engaging to your people. People want to support businesses that have a purpose, a vision, and a reason for being. Studies even show that companies that focus on a purpose have nearly 3 times the annual growth rate than their entire industry altogether. You may have heard of Simon Sinek. He wrote the book Start With Why. He said, people don't buy what you do, they buy why you do it. Your ability to prosper as a business is not about what you sell, it's about what you believe. And this should drive everything you do and the story that you tell. And this is not where you spit out a cookie cutter mission statement in order to check a box. That is neither inspiring nor motivating to you or your people. So what is your purpose? What is the reason you are in business for? This is where you need to think bigger than yourself and your desire to make lots of money and have a better lifestyle. That's the result that you're after. But what is the driving cause, the belief, the frustration, or the desire that you had when you first decided to do this? Now, you may not have thought about it this deeply before, or you may. Some of you may have just trained in a particular skill and then created a business around it, or you may have come up with a really cool idea and built a business around it. But to be a meaningful business that thrives in times of change, you need to be guided by your heart, to resonate with a group of people, to make a real impact, and to be trusted. Organisations which have a purpose at the core of their business that's bigger and beyond making just a profit really attract people who want to be part of that purpose. So here's the question. If you could change one thing in the world through your business, what would that be? And here's a few examples. TED Talks, their purpose is to spread ideas worth spreading. Nike is to bring inspiration and innovation to every athlete in the world. If you have a body, then you are an athlete. And Tesla is to accelerate the world's transition to sustainable energy. And Tesla is especially interesting at the moment because the investment that a lot of the leading car manufacturers are starting to put into the development of electric vehicles is just all over the media at the moment. So what Tesla has done is created their own market, and now it's just a race to see who's second. So if your purpose is your why, your vision is your possibility. It's what you dream of becoming. It's your big, hairy, audacious goal. So what do you aspire to be? If you were guaranteed success, what would that look like to you? What's utopia to you? Now your mission and your purpose can often get confused, but there is a clear difference. Your mission is more like your path to your purpose. It's how you're going to achieve your purpose. It helps you keep on track and focused on being on purpose, and it also makes things a little bit more exciting rather than getting caught up in the humdrum of day-to-day business. Intertech. These guys are a quality assurance company, and their focus is on product testing and certification. Their purpose is to bring quality and safety to life. Their vision, which is their utopia, is to be the world's most trusted partner for quality assurance. And their mission, which is the path to get there, is to exceed their customers' expectation with innovation and bespoke services globally 24/7. Your core values are the foundation of how you'd like to be perceived. And if they are really meaningful and considered and not forgotten about, they can help shape your business's culture. They can help influence what the people inside your business do and how they treat their customers and clients. They can help fuel the energy that you are creating as a business, and they can help differentiate your business and your brand in the minds of your customers. MightyApe.co.nz, they have built a fabulous organisation based on their core values. If you're interested, they have a wonderful video which you have to find on the About page of their website with their staff presenting their values, and you can tell it runs deep throughout the organisation. So your purpose, your vision, your mission and your core values are your business's guiding principles, but only if you really, really believe them, and they're not just created to check off a box. Instead, create these elements in a way that bring you joy and get you really excited, and this excitement radiates out to your people. See, the essence of what's changing in business at the moment was said beautifully by this lady. This is Manal Shafiq, and she's the director of the London School of Economics. And last year, she said, in the past, jobs were about muscles. Now they're about brains, but in the future, they'll be about the heart. And I feel really grateful that I get this, and I've integrated this into my business. And you might get this too, or have an inkling by the way that you choose to support certain businesses and brands. See, as consumers, we're coming together and aligning based on our values. We're using our desire to make a difference to support particular businesses and brands and people and products that really align with these values. And here's the thing. Some point in the future, there will be a tipping point where businesses that do have a point of difference and do have a purpose are no longer stand out from the rest, because people want businesses with heart, and that is growing. And at that point where it tips, it no longer becomes a point of difference. It almost becomes a mandatory. So the sooner that you guys adopt that to the business, if you haven't already, then the sooner that you'll be prepared for that tipping point, but also, more importantly, the sooner that you really benefit from this awesome intention. Until you know what makes you truly unique and how you can leverage that in your marketing, you're just another voice that's vying to be heard. See, we live in such a cluttered world filled with diverse media and millions of companies vying for our attention. So what makes you different? What makes you stand out from the crowd? By having a point of difference, you can have the opportunity to secure a place in the hearts and minds of your customers. Now, I'm not saying you need to be the next Airbnb or Uber and totally disrupt the market. Be you, but be unique. If you are opening a cattery or you're a physiotherapist, what makes you different to everyone else? What do you do differently? If you have an online store, what makes you stand out from the rest when we have so much choice? This may sound really, really harsh, as we have so much choice, so why should we care about you? Here's some examples of businesses that have a really clear point of difference. So you may know Book Depository. They were founded in the UK and they had global success because they did one thing differently. Everything else was pretty average, but that one thing they did differently was having free global shipping with no minimum spend. Scalar up Red Band gumboots. The thing that they do uniquely is that they have quality that has stemmed the generation. So if you're in the market for a pair of gummies and you value quality above all else, then it's very likely you'll end up with a pair of Red Bands. Now, Just Cuts was founded in the early 80s by a hairdresser that saw a gap in the market. And his point of difference was that he allowed people to walk off the street, no appointments necessary, and get a quality cut. And now he has over $100 million turnover, over 200 franchises across Australia and New Zealand. Ply Home create beautiful flat pack furniture without the twist, without the unsightly metal bits, without the tiny little pieces that you can easily get lost, and without the instructions that don't make sense. Who do you serve? A target market is a term we use to describe the people that we aim to have buy our products or services. Because trying to target everyone dilutes our message and connects us with no one. Instead, what we start saying becomes so generic that no one feels heard. No one feels connected with you, and no one feels like, this is for me, they're talking to me. Instead, narrow down who you talk to a select group of the population, preferably who have the strongest desire for what you offer, and preferably, again, that you actually have the strongest desire to work with those people. This allows you to tailor your messaging directly to them so that they feel special and they're interested and they're engaged, and you can create products and services and packages and systems and processes that really fit them. See, marketing is far more powerful when you focus on the smallest possible part of the market, the smallest that you can conceivably live off. The people who really identify with your purpose, the people that have the most value in what makes you unique. You can grow from there, but start small. We don't win today by reaching the masses. We win by becoming meaningful to a few. It will be much easier to identify, to acquire, to manage and to delight a small group of people, and it's so much more affordable and efficient, and it has a powerful ripple effect where this small group is so engaged and connected with you and delighted, and they feel a loyalty to you, that this halos out to the people around them, growing your market in a way that you would have otherwise struggled to if you had started broad. Let's look at a few examples. Ecotricity are a New Zealand electricity retailer, and their focus is on a small group of the market that value the environmental responsibility and the cleanest, greenest energy of all else. You will pay a premium to be their customer, to have that feel-good feeling, but the people that really value environment are attracted to Ecotricity. Tradies accountant, well, that's pretty self-explanatory what small group of the market that they target. But by targeting only one type of person, that gives them the ability to create packages for them and services and communications that talk straight to tradies and that they feel heard. And Sharesies, this is a finance app, an awesome New Zealand tech startup that are really growing, and their target market is people that have never invested before, or people that only want to invest between $10 and $50. Value. When customers are trying to decide whether they want to buy your product or service, or if your product or service is for them, they weigh up a variety of elements of value. It's not product equals price. It's more complicated than this. There is such a variety of value, from convenience and serviceability and attractiveness and affiliation and a sense of belonging, and gosh, the list just goes on and on and on, outside of what you initially provide of the initial product and service. People are willing to pay more for more elements of value. So it's your job to understand what your market really value and grow that value. So I challenge you to think about value a little bit differently. Step away from valuing your product or service based on how it's always been done before, based on how it's been done in your industry or how the competitors are doing, or based on how much it costs to produce your product or service in the first place, or the salaried equivalent of your time. Instead, focus on the elements of value and growing those, and price becomes irrelevant. Because people buy benefits. They don't buy features, they don't buy off facts, they don't buy for logical reasons, they buy because of how it makes us feel. They buy because of emotional reasons. If I was to buy a car wash, I'm not buying a soft brush and high pressured steam thing and a, maximum gloss. I'm buying because of how it makes me feel. I'm buying because I want to feel the satisfaction of finally having a clean car, or the excitement of how clean it is, like just as clean as the day I first got it, or the relief of not having to drive around in a dirty one anymore, which is more like me. So we often seek out brands that make us feel much better about our purchase decision, that we can sort of tell ourselves a story about that. See, some people might buy a particular product because it makes them feel more affluent, or others that value economy might shop in a particular place because it makes them feel like a smart shopper. And great brands know this, and they've integrated the emotional benefit into their point of difference. This is Harmony. They're the peer-to-peer lending group, and they do a fantastic job at integrating the emotional benefit through their advertising, through imagery and words. Yellowleafhammock.com is a fantastic example of everything we've talking about today. I really encourage you to go check them out. They do a brilliant job at integrating benefit-based marketing through the words on their website: relaxation, positive impact, comfort, etc. But it doesn't have to be this fancy. Here's a flyer for a wellness practitioner and a management consultant. You can't really see it very well, but this lady talks about leadership, and it's as simple as putting what I call a set of benefit bullets, which are bullet points that are based on your benefits on your flyer, and that integrate their emotional benefit. So she says, feel more supported and increase your satisfaction as a leader. She doesn't just say be a better leader. We are suffering from an epidemic of a scarcity of trust, something that advertising and marketing industry are very much one of the responsible parties for. And this might sound really harsh, but the reality is we just don't trust you. We've been burnt so many times before by people who do what you do, by people in your industry. We've all got a story to tell ourselves. Why not to trust you? So if we've all been sold products before that said they do something only to find out they don't, or we bought services only to be disappointed, how do we earn the trust of our people? It's by reducing the perceived risk of doing business with you. And we do this two ways. One is by lowering the barriers through your messaging, and the other one is by showing proof. So lowering the barriers is all about understanding all the frustrations that someone might go through when they're trying to find or research or purchase, receive or experience your product or service. And then it's your job to really understand what each of these are, and then work out what you can do in your business and say in your marketing to lower the perceived risk of these barriers. And showing proof is all about safety in numbers, showing people through stories or transformations or images or testimonials that have experienced your product or service before, and it fulfilled or hopefully exceeded their expectations. So Green Acres Cleaning do a really good job at tackling the top barriers on their website. So fast, reliable, secure, they have made promises immediately to reduce the barriers of doing business. When you are looking for a cleaning company, what's the first fear or frustration or worry that you have? And they've gone and tackled it. And Harmony, again, they're a brilliant example of showing proof. They do it two ways. Through numbers, over 300,000 people have gone before you and have rated you over 4.7. And not only that, they're bringing it to life with a couple of stories, a few stories. So if I was in the market for a loan company, then I'd take great security in this information. So a really good marketing strategy covers all of these elements. It gives you a foundation that you can use to help shape a story that you want to share with the world, a story that connects you with a group of people on a deeper level, a story that tells what the shift you want to make. But most important, that is genuine and inspires you and you really believe it and it excites you, gets you out of bed in the morning, and then this radiates out to your people and helps you manifest the business you truly desire. Here's a few awesome New Zealand businesses that do a really good job at storytelling in their marketing. Libby Wrap is a Hawke's Bay company, and they do an excellent job at a story based on what they really stand for as a business. They do this through their website, but go and check out their video. It's a superb example of storytelling. And it's not just talking about an alternative to plastic wrap. They talk about so many things. People that care deeply about nature and sustainability and organic and locally produced ingredients or sourced ingredients, and people that care deeply about environmental sustainability will likely align with a company like this. And this is Pick from Pick's Peanut Butter, and apart from his energy being like amazing and really contagious, he does an incredible good job of his video telling his story, taking us on a journey, taking us behind the scenes, showing us how it all started. Plus, he talks about his absolute love for peanut butter and how he wants to share that love for the world, and his gratefulness and gratitude to his customers. And this is a fast-growing company, Raglan Coconut Yogurt, and they do a really good job at just showing their personality, showing that they're just real people that had just a real problem, which was food allergies, and they just created a solution. But the thing they do so perfectly, which you can see here, meet Mr. and Mrs. Coconut, they're just so real, they're just so transparent, and it builds really good trust. See, the reality these days that people can scroll and buy. They can ignore your advertisements, they can ignore your social media posts. We have this innate ability to detect anything that might be an ad that we don't want, and we can block it out. Like, this is where our brains are going. There is just so much option to communicate with our people these days, but the reality is that they're so much harder to engage. Real marketing is built into what you do and why you do it. Real marketing creates a deeper impact and leaves a lasting impression. So please be unique. A little point of difference, a little bit of difference goes a long way. Be relevant to your people, be generous in what you offer, be meaningful to a few, and be authentic in your marketing approach. But most of all, be you. Resonate with your audience and position your business to thrive. Thanks, everybody. I am a marketer, so I do have a little something at the end. I'm obviously launching this awesome program that I'm very passionate about. So if you want to dive deeper into any of these concepts, there's the Authentic Marketing Strategy online course is starting very, very soon. I am, to celebrate the launch of it, offering a free place and also a really cool special offer when it comes out probably next week. So if you're keen on that, then put your name and address and I'll just email you the offer and the details. Or go to thrivemarketing.nz and click on the Authentic Marketing course. And if you register your interest, then you can go into the draw. But thanks everyone, appreciate it. Enjoy.
Thank you.